Who are any of us to tell you how to smoke your cigar? Alright, so you want to get into cigar smoking for whatever the reasons. As a hobby, maybe as a collector, or just because you really love the idea to be able to wind down, light up a cigar, and relax. Well, you have come to the right channel. We're going to talk about cigars and properly cutting and lighting a cigar and actually smoking a cigar properly. So the main thing about this passion of cigars is that technically there is no wrong or right way of doing it. And now let me clarify. Now there are etiquettes, there are proper ways of doing certain things, but if you have a certain way of cutting or lighting a cigar, and it's the way you like to have it done, well, so be it. Who are any of us to tell you how to smoke your cigar? If you want to take a step further into proper cigar etiquette or smoking, well, these are a few tips that I could give you. Most people that starts off smoking a cigar, the first thing they go for is a Connecticut leaf, which is a very mild, very light colored leaf. And I think a lot of beginners are very drawn to that. Or also beginners are drawn to like flavored or infused cigars. Again, there's really no right or wrong cigars. Some aficionados will look down if you smoke a flavored cigar or infused cigars. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Whether you're smoking a Padron or, in this case, a Scooby snack. And this is from a good friend of mine, Randy, from Georgia. He actually sent me this. So, you know what? I'm going to give this Scooby snack a try. All right, so it doesn't matter whether it's an infused cigar or flavored, mild, strong. Listen, the bottom line is, it's the experience. And I'm sure as you continue on with your cigar journey, your palate, your taste bud, you'll start learning how to smoke a stronger cigar and actually appreciate the taste and the nuance of the cigar. Okay, just like with all of us, you know, we've all kind of started the same way. All right, so once you have established the cigar you want to smoke, now the next thing is cutting the cigar. And again, cutting is more of a preference, your preference. For me, I love all different types of cigar cutting options. For instance, these two cigars, okay, they're different. They're both box press. You have a box press free wheel, and then you have a torpedo McAuliffe. Okay, both of these you could go either route. You go for a straight cut or a V cut. Me personally, I'd rather do a V cut on these two styles of cigars. So basically a V cut will be something like this, and it gives you a perfect V. The different vitolas of cigars, meaning the cigar shape and size. And we're going to go ahead and place the cigar right in there. And there you go. There's your V cut. Let's say you have a cigar like this. It could be a Robusto, a Gordo, or a Toro. All right. They're kind of cylinder shaped. Now, another thing about cigars, they go by ring gauges. Okay. With this particular cigar, we have a straight cut guillotine cutter. All right. So with most guillotine cutters is to just knock off the very end, the cap. Some people tend to cut a little bit more than usual, and this is why many will stay away from the guillotine and they start using a punch. You get something like this. Okay, this is a guillotine cutter from Zyfe. It's got a backstop. This is a foolproof way of cutting a cigar. All right, you put it all the way up to the back. It stops right there, and boom, it just knocks off that very cap. Whether it's a punch or V cut or the straight cut, They're both all really good methods, all right? But this is how I prefer. Okay, I love straight cuts on a cigar like this, V-cut on torpedoes and box pressed. Once you have cut your cigar, the next thing is lighting a cigar. Now here's the tricky part. A lot of people, they'll light up a cigar like they're lighting a cigarette. Believe it or not, you can ruin your cigar if you overlight it. The whole concept of lighting a cigar is that you are toasting the cigar. And again, this is going to take a little bit of time. On this lighter, the flames are pretty high, but what I do is I keep it at a distance. Now what I want to do is just go in a very slow circular motion. Again, I don't have this like this, okay? You're going to ruin the cigar. Don't do that. You want to bring it up here. Now the whole key is, see if I can show you. You want to go along the edges. A perfect ring, nice and slow. You blow at the cigar, you'll start to see the amber glow on the part that's lit on the cigar. So the part that's not showing any amber, that's the area you need to concentrate. And that's the whole reason why you have a lot of people, when they light up a cigar, they blow on the cigar. And that way they can visually see more or less where they need to concentrate on their flame. I'll keep repeating the process. Getting that amber ring all the way around the cigar, along the border. All right. Once you get that perfect ring around the cigar, now you could touch the center part of it up a little more by placing it in your mouth. What you want to do is give it an angle, light it up. And there you have it. So basically, cigar lighting cannot be rushed if you want it to burn correctly and evenly. So now the next step is in heightening your sensory glands. When I'm introduced to a new cigar that I know is really strong, this is the way I'll smoke it. All right, I'll smoke it, just bring it to my mouth. You want to hold the smoke, then blow it out. You do not inhale a cigar at all. All right, so right now it's still burning even. It's looking good. Now, another thing that's pretty fascinating about smoking a cigar is that you smoke a cigar in thirds. And what I mean by that, when you see your cigar, let's just say this is the first, second third, and your third. So the very first third of the cigar, you're going to have a whole different smoking experience. This is where the cigar is still cool, and you're pulling all the smoke. All the smoke's got to filter through the tobacco. Now, as you start smoking it to your second third, now the cigar's starting to get a little hot. All that smoke is filtering through. It's starting to blend in really well, and you're getting a whole different flavor and notes and smoking experience on that second third. This is not a bad cigar at all. This is from the Lost and Found series, the Scooby Snack. Thanks, Randy. Not bad at all. So when you get on your last third, this is the hottest part of it. Some people will not smoke it all the way to the last third. Okay, they'll smoke it to the second, and then they'll just put it down and be done with it. I myself, I like to smoke it all the way down to the end. I enjoy how the flavor of the cigar starts to change as it starts getting hotter. Okay, so that's another cool thing about cigars, is that they're all going to taste different, and there's no one cigar for every person. You can have an awesome cigar that you think is awesome because you like the cigar. You give it to another person thinking that they're going to enjoy, and then basically it comes to the point where that person really cannot smoke a cigar, whether it's just too strong or they just don't like the taste. Every cigar blend can be very different from somebody else. Some people that do not understand about cigars is, why does anybody need more cigars, different cigars? And the best way for me to explain it is that cigars is almost like food. Every day we have a craving for something different. Maybe one day you want to eat pasta, but the next day you want to have a steak. And then, the third day, hey, I just want to go to Burger King and have a Whopper. It's the same thing with a cigar. The nuances, the flavor, the blends, the medium. You have mild cigars, or they call it mellow. Then you have medium to full, and then you have your full body strength cigars. All right, so it all depending on the mood that you're in. And I go through the same mood. There's some times where I just don't want a cigar that's like in your face, full blown, just powerful cigar, like the Free Will. Okay, the Free Will to me is an awesome cigar. I love it. I really enjoy the taste of it. But sometimes I just want to sit back and just relax with something a little bit more aromatic. I've smoked a few aromatic cigars like the Deadwood series. Some people, they frown upon it because, they're flavored, but it doesn't matter. The tobacco itself on the Deadwood series are great tobacco. Yeah, they got that enhanced sweetened tip, which sometimes I could do without, but there's sometimes that I crave that. I want that. So it's just depending. So either you get a cigar that's full blown in your face, or you just want to mellow out with an easy smoke. Now, I'm not sure. This tastes to me more like a medium to full. It's a very mild, very pleasant cigar. It does have good flavor to it, and I'm really enjoying it. All right, so you got your cigar lit. Holding a cigar, honestly, there's really no right or wrong way. You hold your cigar the way you want to hold it. But there are certain ways, You can hold a cigar this way. Or you can hold it like this. Whichever way you want to hold a cigar, that's basically how you hold it. Me, I would either hold it like this, or I hold it like this. What do I like to do when I'm smoking a cigar? Sometimes I got things are happening in my life. I'll just go outside at night. I'll light up a cigar. And then I find myself going through prayers. Okay, I pray for people. I pray for certain circumstances. And sometimes I like to sit there and not even have anything go to my head. I'm just watching the smoke. I'm looking at the craftsmanship of the cigar. And just looking at the smoke as it rises. It's almost like staring into a campfire. You know how you can sit and stare into a campfire for hours, staring into a fish tank and just watching the fish swimming around. Whatever you do that you enjoy, that's going to help you to relax. Some people like to meditate. Some people like to exercise. it's just, cigars not for everyone. But for those that want to give it a try, honestly, there's a lot of great benefits when it comes to smoking a cigar. And that is the peace, the tranquility, the relaxful state of mind that it puts you in. It's just hard to explain. And this is why when people start smoking cigars, they love it. They get really drawn into smoking a cigar. So a lot of people say, it's like, well, this is not healthy for you. Well, may not. But neither is the stress. Neither is the food that I eat. And boy, I eat a lot of stuff that I know is not good for me. And even the foods that you think they're good for you. I believe everything in moderation. But, if you Google a lot of the studies they made on cigars, they put the cigar in the same category as cigarettes. And you can't, because they're two different animals. So do some research on it and figure out if this is maybe something you want to do. But one thing is for sure, when you do decide to take this as a hobby or ritual or just something to do amongst friends, there's so much to learn about it. Enjoy the experience. This is what a cigar is the fulfillment, enjoyment, being able to sit back and relax, either enjoy your solitude or enjoy the company over a cigar. I know that cigars have brought my dad and I closer together. My dad has been smoking cigars since he was a child. My great-great-grandfather and my great-grandfather were all cigar rollers. And my great-grandfather, when my dad was small, my dad would sit there and watch him roll cigars. And my great-grandfather will roll a little tiny cigar. This is in Cuba. And since my great-grandfather was the main, he was the man of the house. Even my grandfather, which is my dad's father, he wouldn't say anything. He saw my dad smoking a cigar, and he did not say anything at all because it would be disrespectful in the Cuban culture. If you're the man of the house, you make the choices, you make the decision. My great-grandfather decided that, hey, I'm going to share this moment with my great-grandchild. And what a moment that would be. I could only imagine how cool that was, being in that age, smoking this really thin, tiny cigar with your grandfather. Now, it's the same experience now that I have with my dad. My dad and I will sit around and we'll smoke cigars. We'll cut loose and we'll talk. And there's some times where we could just sit down, we light a cigar, and we won't say a word to each other. But we're enjoying that moment. And honestly, this is what I think cigar smoking and the culture brings. It's just an experience that's really hard to explain if you have never done it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And I want to thank you guys. I want to thank each and every one of you that's been very loyal to the channel. I'm not an expert, and I do not claim to be an expert. Now, do I know a few things about cigars? Of course I do. But I tend to learn a lot from everybody. When we start talking about cigars, I've talked to some people that really know the craft. They know everything about the cigar industry. And I find that so fascinating. Me, I just like to share my passion. Well guys, I hope you find this video to be beneficial. And again, this is just my opinions, and this is just me, okay? If there's anything that you like to do with the cigars, you have a certain ritual, you have a certain routine, or what you gather from a cigar, share that with me. I would love to hear from you. Guys, lots of love, Big hugs to y'all. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. And till the next time, y'all take care.